Hi there everyone, Life DIY Josie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Thrifty Thursday, when I do a throwback of one low budget idea every Thursday. Since they're back in season, I have a couple of Dollar Tree seasonal wooden sign sacks for you all. You will need a couple of these wooden signs that they sell at Dollar Tree. You will also need a couple of these wooden craft pieces, and they are shaped like a house. And also you will need a 12-inch dowel rod, a wooden rod. They also sell them at Dollar Tree. First, go ahead and remove the hanging hardware at the back, and that is the one that is in the middle. You can snap it off easily. Next, using my craft paint, I will be painting these wooden pieces. I chose white, but you can choose whatever color you want that will complement your space. I'm also using this dry brush technique so that it's not going to be deep. If you want to put more coats of paint, go ahead and do so, but I'm going to make it light so that it's just enough to cover the images. I'm even going to water it down a little bit, dilute it a little bit with some water. To achieve the thin consistency, remove the excess water and continue painting over a whitewash finish, kind of like a weathered look. I'm also using a piece of damp cloth or paper towel to remove the excess paint to make it more of a whitewash finish. Don't forget to paint the edges. And this is what it looks like with the weathered look. Next, I'm applying hot glue to the end or one of the ends of the dowel rod. And I'm also applying some more glue to this portion here, about probably ½ an inch long. And then I am going to be connecting it to the pitch or the underside or underneath that kind of like a rooftop shape there, or the eaves. And that's what it should look like. And then I'm just pinching it or putting pressure so that it will attach. You can use also E6000 here or wood glue, but I'm using Gorilla glue sticks, so this should be very tough when it dries up. Then apply more glue just to ensure that it is connected properly and securely. Then I am going to be connecting or attaching these two seasonal wooden signs, which I also painted off camera using the same technique as I have used with the two house-shaped wooden items. I'm applying hot glue to the bottom, about an inch long, and also I'm applying to the side and to the end so that they'll connect to the inner part and the bottom part of these house-shaped wooden items. Repeat the steps on the other wooden sign. I'm repositioning it this way so that it'll be easier for me to attach the other side. Once again, I'm applying hot glue to the areas that will adhere to the portions of the lower part of the house. And then I'm going to be connecting them together. Apply more pressure to ensure adherence. I'm applying light paint here again and dabbing it with wet damp cloth until I achieve the consistency that I like, because I still want to see the gingham design, but I just want to make it muted a little bit compared to the original color. Look at the comparison. The other one is too bright and the other one is subdued or whitewashed. I'm also touching up the paint for the back part or the back side of the wooden house. And any place that I think needs painting. Originally, I wanted to keep the wooden dowel neutral, but I decided to paint it as well. And this is the finished project. Now you just have to wait for at least 2 hours to let it dry. Overnight would be preferable. I'm just going to demonstrate here what are the items that you can store in here. It fits perfectly these K-cups if you're into that. So if you do not have a big family or if you are living solo, you can use this as your K-cup organizer because this is just compact. It's small, it's not that huge, and It's lightweight. You can even carry it. I have this set of 10 pieces of this square plastic containers, and these are small enough to fit inside as well, and you can put inside anything like beads or craft items. I'm using it for spices or herbs. So you can use this for your kitchen or your craft room as well. And then here it is with some tea bags at the backs, one row of K-cups, and then behind would be the sachets for your tea bags or even for hot cocos. If you're living in a dorm or in a smaller space or shared space, you can always just bring this with you, carry it with you, and then you'll just dispense the hot water from the hot water dispenser or kettle. And then you can just prepare your hot drinks anywhere. I prop it up here as a hot drink station in one corner of our kitchen. I'm putting up on the screen the other items that you can easily organize inside this carrier for your inspiration. Only fit about an inch diameter, and if you want to fit something wider or bigger, you would need it to be bigger. So that's why I kind of removed the glue or unfold one of the sides this way to open it up. So these are two signs, and as you can see, I can create a wider or bigger space or shelf. Now, since I wanted to fit inside this box, this wooden box that they also sell at Dollar Tree, and the inside of it is a lot wider than when I kind of expand those two together like so, it's not gonna fit. It's gonna be too big. So I would need to remove one of this flap here using either an X-Acto knife or a utility knife or a sharp pair of scissors like this one. I just using my Dollar Tree scissors, and I'm just cutting it that way. Now I've realized that I probably would need to cut the other one as well, because again, it will be too wide if I just connect them that way. As is, it's gonna be a little loose. There's gonna be a gap on each side or maybe a gap in the middle, but I want to use that piece there to kind of fill in the gaps like so, and reinforce also. It makes it a more finished project altogether. So what I'm gonna do here is I am just going to be testing it out to size, and then I am just gonna connect them. So as you can see, to fill in that gap, I'm able to also take advantage of the piece that I have removed, one of the pieces. Using the hot glue gun, I am just gonna be connecting this strip first. So I decided to do that first before I attach the other two signs to connect them together. So that looks right, but then I noticed that if I am just going to be connecting this, it's not going to be even. It's not going to be level, because the middle part is raised and then the ends aren't. So what I'm going to do is, using the other piece that I cut earlier from one of the signs, I am going to cut 4 pieces to fit one on each side. So now, I mean, you can use any cutter that you may have. I'm just showing you here that, I also have this tool here that I can use to cut wood. But feel free to use a sharp X-Acto or utility knife or scissors. So the 4 pieces that I cut, I am just hot gluing onto the bottom part where I am going to glue my signs. So I'm using the same technique or the ones that I cut on the opposite end, making sure that I have the same support there so that it will all be leveled, because without doing that, it's going to be a little kind of uneven. I am just gluing the portions that's going to connect to the bottom and the sides and the top. like so. So be generous with your hot glue if you're going to use hot glue. And then apply hot glue to the other side and connect them all together. Now to demonstrate, as you can see, I can fit these two 8 fluid ounces of bottles with enough room to fit more. If I didn't make it wider, it will not fit there. You can only fit the 2 fluid ounces bottles of Mod Podge, but not the 8 fluid ounces that I have shown here. Now for the second tier, because I'm gonna make this like a multi-level or multi-tier organizers. So I know that some of you have asked why I don't pre-paint my projects before I hot glue them. Simply because it's easier for me to do it that way. So whatever's easier for you, please do so. Now I've just opted to paint right now, pre-paint, because I've noticed that there's a gap in between on the second tier, and I want to make sure that I am able to paint that portion that will be showing in the gaps. But then since I'm already painting it, I am just painting the other parts of the signs. But I'm making sure, if you notice, I left at least an inch or an inch and a half unpainted materials so that I can just use my hot glue without worrying that they're gonna dismantle. I've had issues in the past where I have hot glued over the paint even though after drying and it wouldn't hold. I am just gluing the portions that are unpainted and then connecting them to the unfinished box like so. So as you can see, the reason for me pre-painting is the gap at the center of this project, and if I will connect and then paint it later on, it'll be harder. So do what is easiest for you, like I'm doing what is easiest for me. So I'm doing it on the opposite side as well, just hot gluing the portions that are not painted and then connecting it to that box on the opposite end. And then I will finish up painting everything later on, including the support. So here I'm just going to show you that I am painting the bottom tier or shelf, the one that I have expanded earlier, the first one that I connected. So I'm just painting the inside or the inner part as well as the edges. And then I'm also going to be painting those two boxes that I positioned vertically as the support. Now I have decided, since I like the gingham or kind of like a buffalo check style at the bottom, I will be leaving that, you know, the red and white gingham style. Now I'm finishing up the painting of the other shelf, but I'm pointing also that I am leaving those portions that I am going to be hot gluing or applying glue, so that I will not have the same problem as if I am going to be connecting them after I paint them. So those are the portions that you have to leave unpainted if you are going to be connecting with glue. Then I'm applying hot glue to those portions where I'm going to be connecting. After connecting the two tiers together, I'm applying hot glue generously on the very top, and there I'm putting two last pieces of painted wooden signs to be the top tier. So all in all, this will be 3 tiers. Now here, there's a bigger gap at the top, so I'm okay to paint the portions there, although I pre-painted them also and left the bottom without paint because that's the one that's connecting to the unfinished top of the support box. And now I'm just finishing off the inner parts and those parts that are going to be showing up like so. Now, if you want to expand those shelves, feel free to do so, but I am going to use them to hold things that are small enough to fit inside each compartment. And if you've been following me here in my channel, you've probably seen some of those projects. I'm going to be linking them in the description box below, as well as in the upper right hand corner. So I think this one is okay. I'm just going to let it dry for a bit, and then I am just going to set it up. Since this is more like a farmhouse style project, the gingham would work, and I think this one would work anywhere, even in tight or small spaces. I'm going to be showing you how I am going to set this up as a craft organizer. So these are the Mod Podge bottles again, the 8 fluid ounces. And then I will be putting other items next to it, like for example my colored pens and even my pair of scissors. Now, I originally was trying to organize my paint brushes at the middle tier, but I decided to just put them on the top and then line up all my paints, my bottled paint, on the middle tier. And as you can see here, you could probably fit, depending on the size, these are the Arteza paint bottles, and I can fit 8 pieces or 8 bottles in each of the compartments. So this one would work also if you want to organize your nail polishes. Because I expanded the bottom shelf, I can fit the bigger containers or items, and then on the upper ones I can have it hold these paint brushes. But I will show you also, as a crafter, I love using washies, so I am also going to be setting up the top portion. I'm just going to show you that you can fit in the washi tapes as well. So if you are a crafter and you don't have a lot of spaces, this organizer can hold a lot of things. And the good thing about this is portable. You can actually put this on top of your desk or bring it with you, take it with you if you want to put this in the kitchen for a while to do some. It would be great for your kids' rooms, and if you are homeschooling your kids, this will be perfect for their arts and crafts items to organize their things, their beads, all their crafting items. Now I want to show you also, this is the perfect size for K-cups or the coffee pods, and I have done several projects also using this size to hold the coffee pods. But you can organize not just the coffee pods, they fit around 6 pieces of them perfectly in each compartment. And I'm showing you here that you can also organize your tea bags if you're a tea drinker or tea lover. And at the bottom portion you can actually put a small jar there, and you can put your condiments or even your packets of sugars. And then you can use the 2 smaller jars like I've used here. These are upcycled or recycled jam jars, and I just placed some candy. Now I'm just showing you how big the space is by showing you these containers of tea bags, and they have tea bags in them. And because I have expanded the bottom shelf, I can fit them. And then here are the sweets. These are the small candy canes or the mini candy canes from Dollar Tree that I put inside each jar. And this is the mini mustard jar. One fits perfectly. So those jelly jars that you see at hotels or restaurants that they serve you, it fits perfectly as well if you collect them. So this one can also fit some seasoning bottles or spice jars. So this can organize your spices and your seasonings as well in your kitchen. Now I want to show you, you can also put a mug here like I'm doing. So of course I like this mug because it can keep the drink warmer. But I can also fit some of these cups that they sell at Dollar Tree. So I could fit easily 3 of them. So if you want to put this on your hot drink station, that would work as well. So I have this sugar jar or container, and then a cup with stirrers. So I could set this up next to my single dispenser of coffee pod in a small nook in my kitchen, and this would be my small hot drinks organizer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I'll see you again next week for another Thrifty Thursday. Bye!